I hope you are able to see my screen.
See, yes.
Okay. So today we will be covering two major AWS services. Before that, in our last sessions, we covered about cloud versus on-premises. Then we explored AWS. In AWS, we explored a major service EC2. And under EC2 also, we covered lots of concepts like auto scaling, load balancer, target group. So for today, the agenda will be we will be covering two services. One is a database service called RDS, relational database, and another is S3, that is for storage. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So EC2 provides us a server, a Linux server or a Windows server, whatever, and we can use it for whatever purpose we want. That is called as infrastructure as a service. Then
Yeah.
we have RDS, that is relational database service, that provide us managed database services. When we say managed, what is mean? You will hear this managed word very frequently when you're working in AWS. What does that manage means? So managed basically means you only use a database, but how the database is installed, where it is installed, how to manage that server, that is not our concern. That is managed by AWS. So whenever you heard the name managed, it means some portion is managed by AWS. You just focus on your core area and remaining things will be taken care by AWS. For example, if you guys need a database server, first option will be I can create a EC2 server and I can give you the credential of hey, this is a server. Now you install the database and you use it. So then you have to install it, you have to, and then you have to manage it and use it. If something goes wrong, then it will be on you why it is not working. You have to debug. But in RDS, it's not that case. AWS manages the internal server, AWS manages the installation, updation, everything. We are just connect to the database and work as we want. 1 minute, please. Okay, so to get started, you just have to search RDS and you will come up with this option Aurora and RDS. When you go inside it, you will see something like this. So that is AWS RDS dashboard. And right now, I am not running any database server. Okay, so I will go inside it. Now, I can create a database here. Before that, RDS is also a regional service. So similarly, like EC2, if you create a EC2 instance in US Eastern region, that will only available in the US Eastern region. If you change the region, you will not be able to see that EC2 instance. Same concept applies on RDS. RDS is also a regional service. So if you create a RDS instance in Virginia, it will visible here. If you change the region, it won't visible here. All right. Now let's jump on to create a basic database. Right. So here, while creating it gives us different options. what kind of database engine we want. So I hope you guys are aware about what is DB engine. Okay, so we have different database engines. Like we have a MySQL database, we have a Postgres, we have uh, we have MariaDB, we have Microsoft SQL Server, IBM DB2, Oracle. So what kind of database you want to use, you can select that. Now for MySQL and PostgreSQL, you will see there are two options. First, there is a normal MySQL and there is a Aurora MySQL. First, and then here we have a normal Postgres, and then we have a Aurora Postgres. What is the difference between them? So this is a normal MySQL database engine, and this is a more optimized version that is created by AWS. So when you see this Aurora keyword, Aurora is a database engine that is developed by AWS on top of MySQL, and this is Aurora Postgres that is developed on top of Postgres, but more enhanced and with more performance. But also the cost wise also these Aurora databases are more costly. Okay, so if you need more performance and more power, then go with Aurora. Otherwise, go with the normal DBs. Now this what kind of database you have to create, that information we will get from your organization or from your leader or management. Okay, so let's assume we need to create a MySQL database. I will go with this MySQL option. But there are two options: standard create and easy create. Standard create will ask you lots of questions, and easy create won't ask you all those questions. Means it will only ask you the minimal questions required to set up a database. But we will go with this option so that I can explain you everything. So I selected engine as MySQL. Engine addition is MySQL community. And now which MySQL version you want, you can select from here. Okay, I will go with the default option only, but if you have a different requirement that hey, I want a older version or something, let's say I want 8.037, 5.7, so you have to go with those options. Okay, I will go with this option 8.042. Then there is this option enable IDs extended support. So what does that mean? Let's say tomorrow if this version is got deprecated and MySQL launch a new version, then this version will be deprecated. So if you still want to support that, then AWS will charge you some additional money on that. But your database will be up and running and AWS will manage that. So this option is to enable that option. Now, what is your use case for this database? Are you want to use it for production or development or test environment or free tier? Either you don't want to pay for it, I will go with the free tier. But if you are creating it for any other options, production or free tier, you can select that option. Now in the free tier, I will get only a single availability zone DB. What does that mean? Means my data is only replicated to one availability zone. But as soon as I go with the production, I will get a multi-AZDB cluster. It means my data will be replicated to another availability zones. So if something goes wrong to this availability zone, these other availability zones will be available. Okay, but that will comes with a higher cost. So I will go with the free tier. You can also go with free tier. And now here you can give a name to your database server. I will say DevOps. And now I need to set up some credential here. So admin is fine. And password, let's say I will set up as hello @123. Can't contain any of the following symbol slash. Okay. So I cannot put at the rate here. So this is my password. I will copy paste from here. It is saying my password is weak, but that's fine. I'm okay with it. And I will copy the username. Okay. And then now here you have to select what kind of database instance you want for your DB. So database is also a server. So it is asking you how much power and how much RAM you want for it, how many vCPUs. So by default, it selected 2 vCPU and 1 gigabyte of RAM because this is free tier. If you choose production, this another option will be enabled and you can go for the higher versions as well with 8 vCPU, 32 gigabyte of RAM. For if you need more performance or no, you have a heavy application in those scenario. But I only as these are free tier only, so I will go with this option only. And how much storage you want for your database? If you have, let's say millions or billions of records, then you need to increase the storage. Okay, I'm okay with this, but you
Okay,
can
means
right.
post creating my database, if my users increases, then I can able to change the storage size, correct?
Yes, you can increase it.
Okay.
Okay, but up to this only. You can't go beyond this.
What if I want to go beyond this then?
No, this will not possible. Then you need to restructure your schema. Then maybe you need to rethink of your application architecture because forget about okay AWS part. But if you have this much GB data in your RDS and you run a query, that query will
Hmm.
take forever. Then
Okay.
I think you need
Means
to
performance
choose.
also I will lose.
Yeah, performance will decrease definitely. So in that case, maybe you can create two database. Let's say if let's say you are managing a school, so you can create one database to manage teachers and one database to manage students instead of creating one database. In that way, you have to further divide your application. All right. So there
Okay.
is one
But
option.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
fine.
Good. Yeah. So here we have option enable storage auto scaling. As soon as if you enable this option, AWS will sense that you are running out of storage. So AWS will keep on increase your storage until this threshold. So I have specified 1000 GB. So till 1000 GB, AWS will keep on increasing as per the requirement. This value I can put maximum as 6144. Make sense? So you don't need to come and increase the storage. You can enable this and enable or storage auto scaling, and you can put maximum value here. I won't don't want it, so I will disable it. Now here is the connectivity part. If you want your database to be private only, then you need to select that particular VPC and subnet. Connect to setup connection to, okay, now here we need to select the VPC. So I will select this default VPC and this subnet group. Okay, this is fine. And here by default public access is no. It means your RDS will not get a public IP address. It means if you have to connect to this RDS instance, you need to create a EC2 instance in the same VPC and same subnet, and from there you can connect it. But as I want to show you demonstration, I will select this option as yes, so I will be able to connect to this database from my machine. Okay. But if you are working from production level, then don't select this option as yes. I will go with the default security group. That's fine. And this there is another feature from RDS, that is RDS proxy. What does that? Instead of exposing your database directly to connect, it create another layer in front of your database to handle the connections. Okay, again, it's a chargeable feature, you know, so we're not going to use it. Certificate, that's fine, you can put it default. Additional configuration, by default, MySQL runs on port number 3306. If you want to change it, you can change it. And authentication, password authentication is enabled. If you want to do some enhanced monitoring, you can enable them so that AWS will monitor your database. Basic level of monitoring, it will anyway will do free of cost, like CPU utilization, storage, and everything. But you want some more insights, more advanced level of monitoring, then we can enable this uh, enhanced monitoring. But that will be again cost. So for I'm not going to add it now. What kind of log you want to store? You can select here. I don't want, let's say, I will say error log and additional configurations. Yeah. So whenever, if you guys, if you have worked with databases, whenever we create a database, we create a initial database in a SQL server. So let's say I will say DevOps farm. This is my initial DB name. I will store it here. So I will not forget. And port number 3306. That's all. And from here, you can enable the automated backups so that AWS will automatically take backup of your databases. How to take backup and when to take backup, that you can decide here. So for how long you want to keep your backups are kept. So you can select the number of days you want it to be present. That for that day AWS will keep the backup available, and you can choose a window that hey, please start my backup at so and so time. Okay, I don't want to enable the backup. And yes, maintenance window. Let's say as I mentioned that we are using this version something 8.0.42. Let's say MySQL discovered some issue in this version. So they have created a new patch version 8.0.43. That's a minor change. So here, as I have allowed that enable auto minor version upgrade. So this box is checked. So all those minor version upgrade AWS will automatically do. And if those kind of minor version upgrade, whenever that will happen, there will be some downtime. So you have to specify on which time or at which day, what time you want the maintenance to be happen. Let's say your application you will be downtime on Sunday, so you can Sunday and you can select a particular time. Okay, I will disable it. I don't even want it. And the last option we have is enable delete protection. If you select this box, then anybody will not be able to delete this RDS database. If they have to delete it, then you have to first edit the RDS database and you have to uncheck this option. Okay, so that is to prevent any accidental delete. Now here it will show me my cost, as this running in the free tier, so it is not showing any cost. But let's see if as soon as I change to production, you will see the cost. Okay, so we'll go with the free tier. So for production, minimum of 100 GB is required. That's what is showing error. No encryption. I don't want encryption. That's all. Any question here, guys?
Is this only allow us to create a relational database?
Yes, RDS only allows us to create relational database. For key value
Okay.
paired database, it has
Mhm.
a separate service, DynamoDB.
Okay. And in case I want MongoDB, so is AWS allow us to
No,
create instance?
MongoDB is not a relational database. That is not supported here. I think for that we have DocumentDB. That is a service name is different, but yeah, that is a MongoDB based database.
Fully managed MongoDB. Okay, means all MongoDB query will run on this database, correct?
Yes, yes. But whenever you create this, you don't need to log into the server and you need to install the MongoDB and all. You don't need to do
Mm.
all those things. It will come up with the pre-installed MongoDB and the server. You just need to connect it and run your query.
Okay.
It's the same thing like here. Here, see, I'm just specifying all this configuration. It will create a server. It will install MySQL on top of it. I just need to connect to that database server and do my job, like create tables and all those things. Yeah, any more question here, guys? Guys, that be good here?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I will go ahead and create it. It will take some time. Meanwhile, it creates. Uh, we have to use a tool. That name is dbehavior. I don't have it here. I will install it. So that dbehavior is a tool. I hope you guys have worked with MySQL Workbench and pgadmin, right?
Yes, Workbench I used.
Yes, that allow you to connect to a remote database. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So
Correct. Yeah.
I usually use this tool because that single tool allow me to connect to multiple databases to dbehavior. I will install it, Windows installer.
Is this only for AWS or what?
No, it is for it is us. No, it does not have any connection to AWS. You can connect to any database by this tool. It's like even MySQL database you can connect with the Workbench also. It will give us all the information like host name, username, password, port number.
Okay. The same client we can use for multiple type of databases. Okay.
Correct, correct. Because at the end it's just a MySQL database, right? It's just running on
Hmm.
AWS. At the end it's just a MySQL database. Whether it's running MySQL database is running on Azure or AWS, it doesn't matter, right?
Yes.
The same query will run the same way to connect. Yeah. So instead of MySQL Workbench, I use this tool. It is also a DB client, but the difference between MySQL Workbench and DBeaver is MySQL Workbench will only allow you to connect to MySQL based databases. It will not allow you to connect to Postgres. But this single tool can allow you to connect to multiple databases. I will show you. So meanwhile, my database is creating. I will install it. That's all. Let's see, it is still creating. Once created, it will show me information here. So once the database is fully created, it will show here active in green color. That now it is still creating.
Okay, so for creating database, in the background, does it create any virtual machine and install database
Yes,
there?
correct.
Okay,
So at the back end, hmm,
it's kind of creating a EC2 instance and installing those
installing
all tools there.
exactly correct. It
Okay.
just took all the inputs from you. Okay, what database you want, what version you want, what storage you want,
Hmm.
right? And
Hmm.
so it will create a virtual machine at the back end. It will install database on that. It will create an initial database. It will create the username and password that I provided. This information
Okay, if I
initially it
ask
will
you a
create.
question,
Mm-hmm.
if I ask you a question, I want to optimize the cost, where I want to prevent high cost of DB expenses. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
what would you suggest to creating EC2 instance and installing the database over there, or need to use like this tool?
Definitely. If you go with the EC2 and your own managed, that will be much cheaper than this.
Okay.
But problem is, as this is fully managed by AWS, if something goes
Hmm.
wrong to this database, that is responsibility on AWS. If your EC2 machine got corrupted or something is gone wrong, then it's not on AWS, right?
Hmm.
Because
Hmm. Hmm.
AWS will say, hey, my machine is running. If inside that your database is not running, that's not my fault.
Okay. In case database is not running or corrupted, so they do backup every day or what?
That backup also you need to manage on EC2. But if you go with RDS, yes, automated backups are there. AWS will automatically take backups.
Okay, then it's
Yeah,
useful.
yeah, but yeah, definitely it comes with a cost.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, but see here, let's say now consider in a way. Let's say I'm a database developer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Hmm.
my job is to write queries, insert data, evaluate the data, right? So I need a
Hmm.
database that is always up and running with good performance. If you give me server that
Hmm.
hey, this is EC2 server, I have installed a database here. So if something goes wrong, I have to log into that EC2 machine. I need to debug it. So my focus will be diverted from my core work to managing the database,
Hmm.
right?
Correct.
Yeah. So yeah, in those scenario, it is not a good. Yeah, but when if you coming to cloud, then setting up a EC2 instance and installing database on that, that is completely anti-pattern.
Hmm.
Then you are not utilizing cloud uh,
Like traditional
what
way
it
only.
bets. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, got
So
it.
it is now available. Now we'll connect. If you see when you go inside the database, it will show you the connectivity and security tab. This is your endpoint. This is your port number, username and password. I already have. Even if you forgot to connect, got it. For the first time, it will show you this view connection details option. You can click on it here and you can copy your username and password. Okay, this only for one time. As soon as I refresh the page or if I go somewhere and I will re-log in here, it won't show here. So you have to have it and save it somewhere safely. Okay, and configuration here it will show my default database name. DB name. Okay, so now let's try to connect to it. This is my endpoint. Meanwhile, my DB is ready. So there is a connection, new database connection. Now you see, it allows me to connect to any database. Right. So I will go with MySQL. Next. So host is, I copied the host name. Database is DevOpsFarm. If you remember, username is admin. Password is hello #123. Let's test the connection. Okay, it will download some driver because I am very first time install the DB ever. So very first time I need to download the driver. Okay, download the driver. Now it is time to connect to my database. You see connected. Okay, so I'm able to connect to that database. Let's do finish. Yeah, I'm connected to that database. And the databases, if you remember, I created this database. You remember? That was form. And under this, there will be no tables. Yeah. Now, SQL editor. Show tables. There is no table. So let me create a table. Create a sample MySQL table. Right. I will copy it. I will put that query and I will run it. I think it's created. Now, if I give show tables, yeah, you see the table is showing. It is not showing here, so there is somewhere there is the option to refresh it. Just right click on the database name and click on this refresh button. And yeah, if you see, my employees table is created. It has all those columns: ID, first name, last name, email, department, salary, hire date. Any question here, guys?
No.
Okay, this part
Bye.
anyway is not for us, writing query and all, right? As soon as you create a database and you are able to connect to it, you are good. Yeah. Okay, so I think, yeah,
Just wait.
good.
One question is there.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm having any particular server like VM or similar kind of, okay. So I
Mm,
install MongoDB and my instance is also there. So when I try to connect from my
mm,
backend language to database, so it connect immediately. It doesn't take much time or bandwidth. Okay. So in
mhm.
this case, it is providing another host name which is
Mhm.
different. So does it traverse a lot or what? Or any other ways there to connect
Okay.
database?
Okay. The time it taken is because my machine is not in that same network. I'm part of
Mm-hmm.
a different network, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then I'm connected to that RDS which is in US East 1 region. But the best
Okay.
practice is what will happen? Our EC2 will be there in the same AWS account in the same region. So the
Okay.
connection will happen very quick.
Okay.
Yeah. The reason because it took so long, I think few seconds, because I am connecting to it from completely outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the reason. But the
Okay.
usually what happen is my application instance, EC2 instance will be in the same region. If they will be in the same VPC, right? Same network, so
Hmm.
it will not take that long time.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so before going here, let me quickly go to some other things. Monitoring. Here you can monitor your database server, and it's not very long time, so I'm not sure all the metrics will be populated. But yeah, here you will see some kind of graph, how much your CPU utilization is happening, and uh, database, how many users are connected to your database connection count, CPU utilization. It will show everything here. So you can monitor here, that let's say at particular time, let's say this is UTC time. So at this UTC time, you saw that okay, your database was running very heavily. So you can check at okay, what operation was happening, and how many users were connected to that database at that time. So these things will help you. You can, if you want to see particular metrics, you can expand it. That will give you a more bigger picture. And from here you can see which for. So this means it is showing you last 3 hours of data. From here you can change it. You can even get to any, let's say, 3 months or 6 months or any data. Even like months. From here you can monitor it. And here you can see your logs. Let's say MySQL error log. Right now is 0 byte because no error has happened. But MySQL error running log. So you can see all your MySQL related logs for in case you need some debugging. So all those logs are visible here. Yeah, yeah, okay. Any question here, guys? And let's say if you want to sometime you want to manually take a backup, so you can go to this maintenance and backup tab, and there is a snapshot option, and from here you can create a manual backup of your DB, and you can name it something like, let's say, October 29 backup, like this. Sometimes it happens that, let's say we need to manually take some backup. You imported lots of data, and you're not sure if something goes wrong tomorrow, then all your effort will be gone. In that case, you need to take backup manually. So from here, you can take manual backup, and that backup will be visible here. Yeah, that's all. If you do want to modify something in the database, you can click on that modify option, and you can change its name, or you can change the version. But the one thing to remember is you cannot downgrade your database. You can only upgrade it. Okay, you can change the storage. Yeah, all those things you can do by modifying it. But as soon as you modify, it will again go with the modifying state. So there will be some downtime. So make sure you do all those modifications in the maintenance window. Okay. Any question here, guys, before I remove it? And yeah, from here you can stop it temporarily, reboot it, delete it. Uh, 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 yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, okay. Guys, any questions?
No, not from my side.
Oh yeah, I will take it off. So before deleting it, it will think, do you want to create a final backup? I will say, no, I don't want it. I acknowledge that upon deletion, and it will asking me to type delete me option here. It is taking full confirmation because AWS knows it very well that if someone delete this database without their consent, so it takes all these confirmations. Okay, now very quickly the database will be gone. Yeah, so that was all about the RDS service. Do you have any questions here? If not, I will quickly move to the next service.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay, so previously when you were not working on AC2 instance, so you stopped it to prevent unnecessary amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
Course. So in this case, if I'm not using database, so can we stop it, stop this
Yes,
instance
you can.
instead
There is
of,
option stop temporarily. But here
okay,
is the
but
catch.
temporarily means,
For
is there
7 days
any
only.
duration?
It will only stop it for 7 days. After 7 days, it will automatically restart it.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's even I'm not sure why they have designed in that way, but AWS RDS starts automatically. If you don't manually start your RDS DB instance after it
Stop
stopped
will
for
automatically
7 days.
restart after
Yeah.
7 consecutive days. Okay.
Why the reason behind this? The automatic restart allows AWS to apply essential. Okay, because
Yeah, actually
AWS
it's
need
their business, so they should not keep it stop.
uh,
That is also good thing they have implemented.
hmm,
Business purpose that is required actually.
business perspective plus AWS also need to do maintenance, on those servers. If
Hmm,
some
hmm, hmm,
patch is
hmm.
coming or something, so it's for
Hmm,
that.
hmm, hmm. Correct.
And EC2 is self-managed. EC2 is not guarantee of AWS, right? It just provides your server. Whatever you do, it's on you. But as this is a managed service, so AWS have kept that option here that automatically starting in 7 days.
Hmm.
All right. So okay. Next service we are gonna go is the simplest AWS service that is called S3. The full form of S3 is Simple Storage Service. There are three S. That why they call it S3. Okay. Now
मुझे
first let me. Yeah.
पहली बार पता चला 3S के लिए
Oh, is it?
बोलते हैं
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's actually the full form of it. And for EC2, EC2 Elastic Compute Cloud. There are
क्लाउड
two C.
2C.
Yeah, Elastic Compute Cloud. So EC2. All right.
S3, SSS, okay.
So this is the simplest service on AWS. The only purpose of this service is to store your large amount of data. Consider this service as a portable hard disk. I hope everybody has used the hard disk. The hard disk is used to store large amount of data, right? Similarly, this here and that allow you to store unlimited amount of data. Okay, when I say unlimited means I think there is a certain limit. S3 maximum bucket size. There is no maximum size. You can store any amount of data, but there is a limit that a maximum file you can upload on S3 is 5 terabyte. Okay,
Yeah.
means you have a video of 10 terabyte, a single video of 10 terabyte, then you cannot upload that. You have to somehow divide it. Otherwise, in a
Max
single
5
bucket,
TB data for per instance.
per file.
Per
But in a
file.
yeah,
Okay.
okay. Let me reframe. So in if you created a bucket, let's say this is my bucket. In this bucket, I can store any amount of data, 100 TB, 1000 TB, 1 million TB, 1 billion TB. But one single file should not be maximum than 5 terabyte. Does that make sense? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So yeah, okay. Now let's quickly create a bucket you will be seeing some buckets created here. Now, what is the use you want to use it a bucket? Recommended for most use cases and access patterns. General purpose buckets are the original access bucket type. They allow a mix of storage classes that recently typed for load and use cases. This bucket is only which first. Okay, we'll go with the general purpose. Now, one thing to remember on S3 is the bucket name should be globally unique. It's like a Gmail address, If I took a Gmail address, let's say DevOpsFarm@gmail.com, then nobody else in the world can take that Gmail, right? Similarly, whatever bucket name you are providing here, that should be globally unique. Let's say if I create a bucket like this, test is a very common name. It won't allow me to create. Okay. So you should provide some, and also there are some, naming convention. In the bottom, you can see bucket name must be 3 to 63 characters, be unique, and must also begin and end with the letter or number. Means you cannot have a bucket starting with, let's say, hyphen. That is not, you cannot have it. And valid characters are a small a to z. Even you cannot have a bucket with big names, uppercase.
Oh,
Okay, and only special characters allowed are dot and hyphens. You cannot have even underscore. Let's say if I put AWS underscore, it is not allowed. At the rate, not allowed. Hashtag, not allowed. Only dot and hyphens are allowed. One more thing, you cannot have a bucket name in IP format. The bucket name must not resemble an IP address. Okay, so I will try to give DevOps farm. Okay, I think this will be a globally unique. Okay, here ACL, ACL means access control list. By default, this is disabled. Disabled means this object is only owned by this account and not shared to any other. But when you ACL enable this ACL, then you can decide who can access to this bucket and who can write or read data from this bucket. I will go with this option for now and block public access. By default, public access is blocked on this bucket. What does that mean? Whatever data you are putting in this bucket will not be publicly accessible. I will keep it like this only for now. And then bucket versioning. So versioning means, let's say you are uploading a file today, the file name is abc.txt. Tomorrow you modified some content in that file and you are again uploading that file. So if your versioning is disabled, then it will overwrite your previous file. Means you will not be able to access your previous version of the file. But if you enable versioning, then all of your copies of the same file throughout the time will be stored. This is making sense? Now encryption, you can encrypt your S3 data. First option is you can use the server-side encryption with S3 managed keys. Second option, with KMS key managed. Now you need to create a KMS key. KMS is another AWS service that is used for encryption purpose. Okay, I will go with this default option only, and there are some advanced settings. Object lock. So store object using a write once read many model to help prevent object from being deleted. Yeah, this will lock your object for certain time, so that will not be able to de- delete, prevent the delete. This is by default disabled, so I will keep it this only, and very quickly I will create a bucket. This name is valid. So my bucket is created successfully. This is my bucket. Now you see there is nothing, so I can upload data here. Let me see if I have some pictures. Saved pictures, no. Screenshot. No, there is nothing. And camera roll, there is nothing. Okay. I will quickly download some images. Okay. I downloaded two pictures. One is a red car, one is a white car. So I will quickly go and upload it here. That's all. Let's upload them. All right. My images have uploaded, and you will be able to see them. Okay, they are here. All right. Now, if someone wants to see this image, this is our image URL. Let's see if I copy it and I will try to open it. Okay, hold on. It don't work like this. Here, object URL. It won't work. It's saying access denied, access denied. Why? Because if you remember, I have disabled the public access of this bucket. So now, so that guys, there will be two use cases for the S3. Sometimes we need a public bucket and sometimes we need a private bucket. So public bucket, let's say you are creating an application similar to Instagram, and all of your videos and your photos will be stored on S3 bucket. So that bucket should be public bucket so that all other users in the world can consume data from here. Another option where bucket could be private, your internal bucket. Let's say you are working as a company and you want to store some of your company legal documents, right? So your that in that case your bucket will be private bucket. So private is by default, you don't need to do anything to make a bucket private. But what if I need to make this bucket as a public so that anybody can, if I give this URL to anyone, they can see the pictures. You have to go to permissions. So first go to your bucket and permissions. And by default, block public access is on. So I will off it. Confirm. It is asking me to confirm it because I'm enabling my bucket as public bucket. It is taking my confirmation. That's fine. I confirmed. But as soon as I refresh, it still give me that error. So it means I need to do one more thing. I need to enable the object ownership and I need to enable the ACL. Okay, I acknowledge and save the changes. So I need to do two things. I need to first make my bucket public and then I need to enable the ACLs. Now if I go, it will still not work because one thing is still pending. Now my bucket is public, but my object is not public. So that object name is 136.872. So okay, this is the image. I will select that image, go to actions, and there is a last option, make public using ACL. Make public. All right. Now as soon as I refresh it, yeah, that's how. So 3 steps you need to do. First, enable your public access, then enable the ACL, then make that particular object as public.
If it is private, then how it will be visible to the internal people?
No, private things will not be visible here. For private buckets, you can only access data by going here. You need to download that object in your local PC and then use it.
Okay, but until and unless I view that file, what kind of file it is, I it won't be
Okay,
meaningful to
I got, I
download,
got,
right?
I got your question. So in that case, let's say you can click on that file. Okay, this is anyway is public, right? 1872. 872
Or
is
can we allow AWS to read user IP, and based on IP or network,
no.
it should allow to show that, or
So let's
SSO
say
we can.
no.
No?
Let's say
Okay.
this image is not uh, public, right? If I open it, it won't work. Okay. So AWS provides something called pre-signed URL. It means for certain time, you see, now this is opening. So from if you
Hmm.
are logged into AWS, then only for you it will open from this tab.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
View purpose, we can use open tab then.
Yes. And if you see the URL plus
Could you
AWS
refresh
puts
that another page where you tried to open and it was showing not permitted?
here.
Yeah, refresh here.
No.
Okay.
If we say
Okay.
the image is same, right?
With certain
464.jpg.
parameter, it is opening that.
Yeah, because when you click on this button, what AWS does,
Mm-hmm.
AWS puts some additional hash at the end. If you remember, if you see it, it's some kind of
Yeah.
token.
Mm-hmm.
So and nobody in the world could get this long token, right?
Yes, actually.
Yeah. So that's how, as owner, you can see it. But if you want that another audience could see it, then you have to make it public only. Oops, I
Okay.
have been logged out. Something is wrong.
And as you said, this can be used to store organization document or data purpose, right?
Hmm.
But
Correct.
if I want to store a big files in S3 bucket, okay, and that should be happen using my code. Is that possible?
Possible. You can use SDKs.
Because in my current project they are storing lot of graph means nodes are there on graph, and
Mhm.
each graph relate to a people, a person, or any entity such as any organization. Okay, so it has a big count of data, and they are
Mhm.
storing it on a S3 bucket.
Hmm. Yeah, like anyway, I'm for this training purpose only. I'm showing you upload from here. Nobody uses these options, to upload. There are SDKs
Hmm.
available. AWS SDK to upload S3. If I show you sample code, are you guys aware about some basic coding?
Yeah, I'm
Okay, okay.
developer only.
Okay, okay. Then you will be able to definitely understand it.
I also know, I think, Python.
Yeah,
Yeah, boy.
basic.
Okay.
Ah, that's fine. So it's simply see, this is a simple Python code. There is a library called Boto3 that
Mm-hmm.
allow you to communicate to AWS services. So S3 Boto client, and then you specify this is there is a you create a client from Boto3 S3 service. So whatever service you want to communicate, let's say RDS, so it will be changing to RDS. Okay, then you will get a client for that service. from that client, you can call two methods. So S3 client has a method upload files. You'll provide your file name, your bucket name, and the object name. Object file name means your local file name. Bucket name is the S3 bucket name, and what object name you want to give once file is uploaded to S3 bucket. That name, and it will upload your file. Make sense?
Okay, yeah, got it.
Yeah, this is not my part to explain much, but yeah, but I also know some coding, so I know sometimes I also use it. But yeah, this is
Mm-hmm.
SDKs are more for developers. But we
Yes,
as a
correct.
DevOps engineer, if we need to communicate to the AWS with programmatically, yes, that option is also there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Now, anyway, this is a new bucket, so let me go to some old bucket and I will show you something. It does not have anything. Okay, this bucket
You
contains a
said 5 TB size, so is that for per bucket or per file?
per file. I'm saying per file.
Okay, so in bucket, I can upload number of files and each file
You
can
can.
be
Hmm.
maximum 5 TB.
One file could be maximum 5 terabyte.
Okay,
You can upload
but
hundreds of files, thousands of files, but
but
one
it
file. Hmm.
hardly will get 5 terabyte file.
Yeah, that's true. Very, that's a very rare case, that any single file
Yes,
could be 5 terabyte. But yeah, that's my
yes.
job to teach you that fact.
Yeah,
So that's why.
yeah,
Yeah.
correct, correct.
Okay. So this is my one of the old bucket, and in the metrics tab, you will be able to visualize how many object you have. So first of all, object means a file. Okay. How many files you have in your bucket and how many total size of your bucket. Those two metrics you can see from here, from metrics. Let's say there are millions of file, and so you cannot count all those files, right? So from here you can see it. And what is, if someone asks you what is your total size of the bucket, so from here metrics you can see your total size of bucket. Okay. And let's say while creating, you forgot to enable versioning for your bucket. So again, you can come to properties and you can edit and you can enable it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Any question here, guys? So that's a only a few actions is there in the S3.
I'm seeing those other options like vector bucket. So is that for AI vector?
Oh, it's
What
something new.
option are
Even
they?
is optimized for storing and querying vectors. I'm not sure about it. I never used
Okay,
it.
I think vector database is used for AI purpose to store AI data.
Maybe yeah, it shows preview thing here. It means that is
Hmm.
recently launched thing. A
Okay,
vector bucket is a resource container MSC that provides cost-effective, elastic, and durable space for vector data. I'm not sure what is vector data.
okay.
Mhm. What is vector S3 bucket? Okay, see, even I
Yeah.
think ChatGPT is trained with the previous data, uh, the old data. So even this does not know. This came very new. Even I noticed it very first time.
Okay, even I think ChatGPT also not aware much
Yeah,
about it.
because ChatGPT is trained till very old data, right? And this is very new
Yeah.
thing. Let me see when they
Okay.
launched it.
AI data storage. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe published
correct.
3 months ago. Yeah, so it's very new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah, that's fine. Maybe we can, if we time allows, we can explore, but not sure.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's all about today's session, guys. If you don't have any more questions, we are good to drop.
Yeah, no
All
question.
right. Bye, guys.
मैं एक चीज कह रहा
Thank
था, कल
you.
और परसों में अवेलेबल नहीं हूँ।
ठीक है, कोई नहीं, मंडे से कर लेंगे रिमेनिंग सेशंस।
ठीक है, और
ओके,
मंडे को चाहो तो हम 8 बजे कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं।
ठीक है।
दिनेश एक मिनट रिकॉर्डिंग बंद कर दो पहले। मेरा भी